Oh, let's see. I didn't want this to have to be my first video sitting here seemingly saying bad things about somebody that's not related to Donald Trump or their ilk. I watched this video earlier today for a little bit and turned it off, and I was like, you know what? I think we got to make a video about this because obviously he's coming from a good place. It's just the reality of whatever you believe in the polls, you know, roughly a third of the country or 60% of the country, whatever. There's an astonishing number of people that, we've got problems in this country. Let's listen to what Mick Foley has to say.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
this
Mick.
is Mick Foley, the hardcore legend, and this is an earnest and honest attempt to talk to Republicans and independents who are not so far gone that they can still think for themselves. Now,
that is whatever that number is, it's too high.
If you're one of those people, like a close relative of mine, who certainly seem to feel like Alex Preddy and Renee Good deserve to die, then I'm not talking to you. Thank you for your support, and you can just watch it and leave a mean comment or get out of the conversation now. What
That's very good of him. It's like if you're just not going to listen to anything I have to say here, get the fuck out. You got to love that. He said it in a very nice way. It's good on him. Good job.
I'm talking about is appealing to good-hearted, sensible people,
human beings,
who cannot believe that the way immigrants are treated in this country is correct. Now, I was listening to a TV station where they talked about how 65% of Americans think ICE has gone too far, and they thought that was good for America, where I was left thinking, wait, 35% of the American public is for this?
It's entirely too high.
I cannot believe that.
Oh,
I refuse to believe that 3.5 out of every 10 Americans I meet would be in favor of our fellow human beings, our brothers and sisters, being treated in such an inhumane fashion.
How do you think that Trump got elected in the first place? A second time, much less people voting for him a third time. There's a lot of stupid assholes who are racist in this country.
3.5 out of 10 people I meet are for that. That means far more than 3.5 out of 10 who are not people of color are for it, even more males. This is just me in my head doing the math. And that means like, no, we're all better than this. I'm not
apparently not, Mick.
Saying this in a condescending fashion. I'm saying I know because I spent time with you. When I say that, I mean, I spent 15 years riding the roads with a variety of different wrestling friends and travel partners, one of whom I would consider to be very progressive. That would be Jim Cornette. The others, not going to make anybody's list of progressives and definitely going to lean conservative, independent to conservative. I never had any problems with a single one of them. We had discussed.
What color were they, Mick? I mean, I'm sorry. We have to put that out there. I mean, most of the people that you showed in those pictures were white. It's a fact. This is kind of, I need to listen to the rest of the video, and granted, he's putting this in a pretty nice way, how he's presenting this, but at the same time, Mick, you're a white male man. You're a white male. You're a white guy. You're a white person in the United States of America. Dare I say, you probably haven't been exposed to much racism directly. Your experiences in talking and meeting with these people, associating with them, even in a job professional atmosphere, would probably be starkly, vastly different if you were not a white person, I dare say.
Discussions, not arguments. I know it because when I was struggling, you were the people who let me stay in your spare room or on your couch because I didn't have money for a motel.
But would they do that for you if you were black? Some of them would, I'm sure. Some of them would not. Now, granted, I don't have any statistics to say that. This is all anecdotal. But at the same time, your experience would probably be vastly different if nothing else. If you acted the same way, if you were the same human being, but your skin color was different, Mick, you probably would have a vastly different experience.
You were the people, the guy who may have been wearing a MAGA hat, gladly giving me instructions when my GPS wasn't working. You are the people who smile with joy when I bounced your children on my knee as Santa Claus. And when you take the photos and you hug your children at my appearances in small towns across this country. And I've worked in every single state, red, blue, and purple. And I've felt the love everywhere I've been.
I'm sure he did. Mick is a good guy. There's a reason why you see Mick, like Mick Foley or Mick or Foley is God. That's why you see those signs. I used to watch WWF, WWE way back in the day when Bret Hart was doing his thing. And, it's changed over the years, but, for them, they seem to be good people. What little you see on TV behind the scenes, who knows? It's just like anybody else. People you see at work or people in the grocery store, much less church. They present themselves as one way in public or in groups, but then at home or in private, they're two completely different people. Who knows? But Mick Foley himself sure seems to be one of the good ones.
And I just refuse to believe that these people who treat me with such kindness would turn a blind eye to the cruelty that this administration is inflicting on others.
I mean, obviously they have, or they agree with it, or they want it to happen. You can agree with, hey, if you're illegal, if you're here illegally, if you haven't followed the right process and procedures, you should not be here. You can agree with that, but then you can disagree with the way it's being handled. I think a lot of people would subscribe to that, I would hope. The problem that we seem to have in this country is there are people who agree with the first half and then they disagree with the second half. They're like, no, I think this is totally fine. I think it's completely fine that we are, ripping children out of homes. Like, look at this. It's a very young person. You can see right there. You shouldn't just indiscriminately go around, we're just going to target brown people, and then we're just going to yank your ass out of wherever you are, and you're coming with us, we're going to black bag you, you're never going to be seen or heard from again, we're going to feed you, but who the fuck knows? Are you going to piss and shit all over yourself? Probably, but that's not our problem,
There was a quote I saw, a friend of mine asked me if I wanted to put out there, and I said, hold on, I think I can do better with a video message. And the quote said, it's okay to admit you were for something and no longer are. It's okay
that is good,
to say that you like something in principle, but not in its execution.
Oh, that's literally what I just said.
The best time to speak up would have been earlier. The second best time to speak up is now.
Yeah, that's pretty. Let me go back and let me look at this quote here. I guess it's a quote. I don't know if he said this was a quote or what this is from. So you're allowed to say at any point, I can't support this, even if you did. Even if you were unsure, you can say this has gone too far. And while the best time to say that was earlier, the second best time is now. I mean, it's better late than never, yes, but at the same time, the very early onset of this, there should have been process and procedures, guardrails put in place. Like, yes, is one of our focuses going to be going after illegal people in this country? Okay. That can be a thing. Yes. If voters, constituents want that, if they want, if they see on street corners, illegal people, if they keep hearing stories about crimes being done by illegals that never should have been here in the first place, that is something that, even if it's a one-off case every now and then, the sheer fact that if somebody gets killed, murdered, if it's a horrible crime committed against another person in this country and it was committed by somebody who should have never been here in the first place, that is a problem. That's a problem. Now, is that one of the main huge problems in our country that's causing people grief and sorrow and sadness, sickness, hunger, homelessness? Is that are illegal immigrants, illegal aliens, undocumented people, whatever you want to call them, people who are not citizens and aren't here on some kind of work visa or whatever you're supposed to call it? I don't know. If they're not here the right way, is that a problem? Yes. But I mean, we do have bigger fish to fry in this country at the same time. We have people going hungry. We have people that are homeless. We have completely upside down pyramid in this country where a very small few have so much, which, the United States allows that, but at the same time, there need to be some sort of regulation to prevent unregulated greed from literally killing people in this country. See healthcare. If it doesn't increase the slope of the profit line quarter by quarter, year to year, get it the fuck out of here. Yes, that person can die because it will save us money. That person can die because it will increase the profit line, and I can go get my 5th yacht and 13th house that has 17 bathrooms. I mean, I don't understand We have bigger fish to fry in this country. Is illegal immigration a problem in this country? Yeah, sure. Is it a problem in other countries? Yep. Maybe we could look at other countries to see what they've done. It's not just, well, we have to figure it out on our own. It's 2026. There are systems and other ways of doing things that other countries have probably figured all this out already. If not, maybe we could all get together collectively and share our thoughts and ideas and experiences. What's the best way to handle this without committing great human atrocity? God, it's just a thought. Just a thought. Who knows?
And earlier, the second best time to speak up is now. Because years from now, when there is nothing to lose, we will all have been against this. But the time to speak up and state your case is now. Many people might not believe this, but I firmly believe the United States of America is better than this. America is better than zip tying senior citizens. America.
Oh, God. The idea of America, yes. The country that once was or is formerly known as the United States of America, yes, it is better than this. That's 100%.
Is better than chasing down agricultural workers or abducting day laborers at Home Depot. America is better than using children for bait.
Agents made Liam knock on the door, asking to let them in.
And then they denied the asylum request. Now, granted, I don't know who these people are. I don't know their story, but if the goal of ICE and Customs Border Protection Patrol, whatever the hell, the goal of these institutions, agencies, whatever, is to get rid of the worst of the worst. I dare say a lot of these examples are not the worst of the worst. Now, if they threw in front of us video or pictures or documentation that said, okay, this is what these people have done. They've, been trafficking drugs and they have been killing people. They've had gangs and just whatever. If they showed all this, like, this is who we're going after, but they're not going after these people who have been here, who are contributing to society, who just want to be left alone and live their life in a better place than where they used to be. I mean, that's what America is. That is, people have come here over hundreds of years now to live a better life, because this country is supposed to be where we don't prosecute you for what religion you do or don't believe in. We don't persecute or prosecute you because of who you love, of your thoughts and ideas on things. It's supposed to be a melting pot physically, but also philosophically. It's supposed to be a melting pot of ideas. We pick what the majority believe to be the best path forward, ideas, and move on. Not let's just regress back into pre-World War, Germany. This is insane what we're seeing.
In order to see if anyone else was home.
We are better than this.
We should be
better than inflicting terror on a wide swath of this public
it's terror.
Only on the language they speak and the color of their skin. And
do I inherently get a little uncomfortable around people that don't speak English? Yes, because I fear the unknown, just like anybody else does. I'm like, are they talking about me? What are they talking about? That fear starts to get in your head, but then hopefully you have a rational, sane side of your brain that goes, why don't I just mind my own business? They're literally not hurting anybody. They're not doing anything. They're just existing. And also, to me, you can flip it around from their perspective, is that they don't know what I'm talking about. Probably they don't know that I'm sitting here thinking about, oh, are they going to call the cops on me? Are they going to follow me home? Are they going to do harm to me and my family? All right, so we got to re-record over this because I messed up on this part here. We can flip it around and use their perspective. They're sitting there wondering what we're thinking. Like, are we going to follow them home? Are we going to call the cops on them? Them being the people who have to worry, if U.S. citizens, like, is a crazy Karen going to call the cops on them in the Home Depot parking lot? If they're sitting here mowing someone's grass in front of someone's house, oh my God, are they going to sit here and call INS on me or ICE or whatever? They have to worry about those things. They shouldn't have to. They really shouldn't.
I think that many of you believe we're better than this too. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll be devastated, because I will have completely lost faith in the United States of America and its people. But
that is a good point. Collectively, the United States, I think, for the most part, is still filled with good people. Maybe we don't know how to collectively move forward. How do we stop this? I mean, it should have been stopped before it got started. That's the best case. But then How do you stop it after it's already started? That's going to take a collective group effort. A very few people cannot do this. People are probably sitting here wondering, well, if this guy is so brave and he wants to speak up, why doesn't he do like Mick Foley and, why do you have a mask on? It's like, because I'm just one regular, normal, everyday person in America. I'm not like Mick Foley where I've done something, not a lot of people get to do. He's got more money than most, I'm sure. He can live pretty comfortably and he doesn't have to worry. He's probably got lawyers and everything. So I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe he's 100% doing this by himself. He doesn't have any kind of legal protection or even like physical protection. I don't know. But normal people like us, it's like, we have to be a little bit more careful with how we do it when we're individual. Working together in a group, that's how things are going to change. Much less if multi-million number of people marching, protesting, yeah, that gets it done. But it's going to take other things that are going to be pretty uncomfortable for this country that other countries have done. If you can read between the lines there, you know what I'm saying. Other countries have given us the blueprint, and for some, we haven't lost enough. It hasn't directly affected enough people, but we are not there as a country.
You can make a difference by just speaking truth to power.
All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper.
35% is bad. It's not as bad as the 10% that I think is more accurate. Please make a difference by using your voice. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Good old Mick Foley, man. He's a good guy, obviously, you can tell. I hope it would be life-shattering if something came out about him that, God bless it, I hit pause and I'm sorry. It would be pretty bad if you found out that, behind the scenes he was a closet, murderer or something. It'd be horrible. Hopefully the worst thing he does is just, fibs on his taxes or something. Who knows? Or maybe he doesn't like the same Girl Scout cookies that you do. Good video. He means well. He's saying something. That's what, at bare minimum, this is what we need. We need people with power, influence, whatever the hell you want to call it. We need bigger people to talk than just the normal everyday person that, you go to the grocery store with. Those people like you and I, we need to be active in groups. That's how we're going to get things done. Somebody like Mick Foley, who has more power, influence, reach, ability, whatever, all the above, he's going to be able to do more with that than one normal everyday person can. And that's okay. It's good that he's hopeful. He's like, man, I hope I wasn't wrong about you people, because you have demonstrated that you can be kind, compassionate, normal, caring human beings that do unto others. But I mean, there could be people that they're very two-faced, that they seem one way towards you just because you have a certain amount of money or the color of your skin, what country you were born in. But then they act a completely different way if you don't fit that mold. It's like, oh, you're a brown person. You can get black bagged. We'll never hear from you again. You speak more than one language. we don't do that here. No, we don't do that. You think that there should be some sort of regulation when it comes to corporate greed and firing people. And, God forbid that we try to keep children from being murdered in schools. No, we don't do that here. The NRA we support the Second Amendment. So anyway, I hope this doesn't come off as an attack on Mick Foley. He is seemingly one of the good ones out there. I just, like him, I hope that we're wrong, that, there's some good people that just maybe they are too afraid to speak up. I think what it is there are a lot of people that would like to do something about this, but they feel powerless, like me. I feel like I can't do anything about what is going on en masse in this country, because I'm just one person. I'm one out of 350, 400 million Americans, or people that live within the United States. I don't want to say United States citizens, because there are other people here who aren't citizens, but they're good people and they should be treated as such. That's just a reality. Just because you're not a citizen of the United States doesn't immediately make you a piece of shit. Just like if you don't make millions or billions of dollars a year, that does not make you a terrible person. That doesn't, mean that they should have kicked you off the ledge in Sparta when you were a baby. Oh, this guy's not going to make billions of dollars. Fuck him, and just kick. No, that's not what we do. And if it is, then people need to leave the country. If that's how we want the United States to be, where it's just a bunch of white, racist, supremacist, white a bunch of racist, white supremacist people that if you don't own land or companies or lie, cheat, steal to get ahead in life at the expense of other people below you, man, fuck off and get out of this country. That is not how this country should be. That is not what America represents. America is supposed to be the melting pot. We're not a Christian nation. You're free to practice Christianity, but you don't force it upon other people, much less it's not the national religion, just like the national language is not English because we don't have a national language. And white supremacist, racist people are going to have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable about that. You're free to have your opinions, but that doesn't mean you go around walking up and down the street doing the Nazi salute saying white power and all this shit. That doesn't, the First Amendment does not mean you're free to go around being a complete racist piece of shit with no consequences. You're just free to go do that. Because then the flip side is, well, I mean, that means that the Black Panthers can go around doing that in your face, and you're just going to have to get comfortable being uncomfortable with that. You know that that doesn't work both ways. You know that MAGA and those crazy people, and yes, they are crazy people, I will say it. You know that they cannot handle, they're a bunch of pearl-clutching bitches. Whenever he said fuck in the congressional, oh my God, Donald Trump says shit and fuck all the time, and none of y'all seem to care. Y'all actually cheer for it. Well, that's my president right there, man. Oh, Donald Trump, boy. God, I can't even do that. How do y'all talk like that? Seriously. That's, oh my God. Anyway, I'm rambling. Whatever. Mick Foley, good guy, good video. I think we can agree that we both hope that we're wrong about the majority of Americans in this country. That, there are good people in this country. And I think just everybody needs to be reminded of that. And I think at some point, people are going to have to, they're going to have to stick up for what's right. I don't know what that's going to entail, but we are already way down the dark road, and there's seemingly no coming back from that. But I don't know what we can do. It's going to take group action, not words, not spoken or written words. Like Paul for Unity, Paul Lance on YouTube likes to talk about, going to these protests every 4 months or going every now and then on Saturday. That's not going to change anything. I'm sorry. It's just not. It is better than nothing, but more is required. Anyway, we're well beyond pitchforks and torches, y'all. That's what I like to say. That can be my little outro. That's the channel, Beyond Pitchforks. I listen to Texas Paul Schrader. Who else? Paul for Equality, Paul Lance, and there's a few other. Kyle Kalinske, Secular Talk. Watch him. He's amazing. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Have a great day. Mick Foley, man. One of the good ones. Anyway, I'm out. Thanks a lot. All right, let's see. One more edit here at the end of the video. First off, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you very much. You're probably crazy. Anyway, so one more thing to add is we cannot tolerate behavior and actions done to others that we wouldn't tolerate being done to us, ourselves, our family, our friends, etc. That's a very slippery slope. That is probably opening Pandora's box, and that's a big problem. We shouldn't be tolerating any of this that's being done to human beings within our country. And we need to do something about this. And again, we're well beyond pitchforks and torches here.